This is my story. In 2011, four friends from Stanford, Reggie Brown, Bobby Murphy, Evan Spiegel, and Atwood Demise, attended a party where they met someone that they thought was really cute. But when they went up to her and introduced themselves, she didn't know who they were. So they decided to send her a message through Facebook Messenger saying, "Hey, it's us from earlier. Can we get your number?" She responded by sending them a screenshot of her phone number written on a piece of paper. This inspired them to create an app called Picaboo, which allowed users to send disappearing photos and videos to their friends. They chose the name Snapchat because it sounded like Snapchat, which meant that the pictures would snap into oblivion after being viewed once. The app was well received and quickly gained popularity among the student body. But it wasn't until the summer of 2013 that things started to get serious. A viral video of two girls dancing in bikinis while taking a selfie on Snapchat caused the app to blow up with over 20,000 new signups every day. By August, there were already 20 million monthly active users. And by October, the company had raised $20 million in funding and expanded to Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Spain, and the UK. In early 2014, they introduced the Spectacles, a pair of sunglasses that allowed users to capture videos hands-free and seamlessly integrate them into their existing Snapchat experience. Spectacles sold out within minutes of being released and generated a lot of hype, even though most people couldn't afford them at $400 a pop. Around this time, they also rolled out the Stories feature, which allowed users to share their experiences in real time by posting photos and videos that disappeared after 24 hours. This became an instant hit with over 10 billion views per day and paved the way for the company to go public in February of 2017 with each share priced at $17, giving the 25-year-old Evan Spiegel a personal net worth of $1.4 billion. Over the next few years, they acquired several companies, including Bitmoji, Vinkel, and Musical.ly, but none of them were as successful as Snapchat. In fact, Snapchat lost billions of dollars in revenue due to poor management and a failure to adapt to the changing social media landscape. It wasn't until the pandemic that everything changed. Stay-at-home orders and lockdowns drove more people to use digital communication tools than ever before. And Snapchat was no exception. Their daily active user count increased by 20%, which was the biggest quarterly jump since 2016. At the same time, advertisers were pulling back on spending due to the economic uncertainty, which meant that Snap had to rely on their other sources of income, such as the sale of spectacles and partnerships with other companies. For example, they partnered with Walmart to create a custom lens that allowed users to virtually try on makeup and then purchase it directly from the store. By the end of 2020, Snap was generating $2.5 billion per year and had grown to 290 employees. But this was nothing compared to what was in store for them in 2021. On January 28th, they announced that they would be launching a new augmented reality platform called Snap. The platform would allow developers to build experiences using augmented reality or AR, which overlays digital elements onto the physical world. Snap gave developers $500,000 to create the best apps and then posted a list of the top 25 finalists on their blog. People could then vote on which app they liked the most, and the winners would be featured on the App Store. This generated a ton of publicity for the company and got people excited about the potential of AR technology. But it was just a small taste of what was to come. On April Fool's Day, they posted a video to Twitter that showed how users could interact with virtual applications built on top of their environment using augmented reality. The response was so overwhelming that they had to clarify that it wasn't a joke and that it was actually happening. On May, they launched the beta version of Snap and made it available to 150,000 people on the waitlist. By July, they had already reached 5 million daily active users. But it was only when they announced that they would be releasing the app to the public in September that things really started to get crazy. On the first day alone, Snap racked up 30 million downloads and became the second most popular app on iOS behind TikTok. Within 3 months, it had grown to 100 million daily active users and had become one of the most valuable private tech companies in the world, with a valuation of $86 billion. But not everyone was happy with the success of Snap. On December 22, 2021, an artist known as Lil Rod recalled that he created a lens for Snapchat in 2018 that used augmented reality to project a holographic version of himself onto the physical world. He said that he never signed a release form or agreed to have his likeness used as a trademark for the company, and that he felt like they were profiting off of his work without giving him credit. He sued the company for $15 million and asked for them to remove all references to Lil Rod from their app. Despite all the controversy, though, Snap continued to grow at an incredible pace. On March 2022, they announced that they would be partnering with Amazon to create a new shopping experience that allowed users to virtually try on clothes and makeup and then purchase them directly from the store. This generated a ton of hype and led to a 70% spike in traffic to the Amazon website. By June, they had already reached 150 million daily active users and had become one of the most valuable private tech companies in the world, with a valuation of $120 billion. But this was just the beginning. On September 27th, 2022, they announced that they would be launching a new feature called Snap Avatar, which allowed users to create personalized avatars that they could use to represent themselves in the app. This generated a ton of excitement and led to a 100% spike in signups on the first day alone. By November, they had reached 200 million daily active users and had become one of the most valuable private tech companies in the world, with a valuation of $150 billion. But this is nothing compared to what was in store for them in 2023. On January 24th, they announced that they would be acquiring a company called Fairy for $2 billion. Fairy was a messaging app that allowed users to communicate with each other through text, voice, and video. But it also allowed users to create groups and then share their experiences in real time by posting photos and videos that disappeared after 24 hours. This was a huge deal because it meant that Snapchat would be able to offer group chats and Snap Stories to their users. Group chats would allow multiple people to participate in a single conversation, which would make it easier for them to coordinate plans and share experiences. Snap Stories would allow users to share their experiences in real time by posting photos and videos that disappeared after 24 hours. This would make it easier for them to stay in touch with what was going on in their friends' lives, and would also make it more likely that they would be able to capture memorable moments as they were happening. The acquisition of Fairy was a huge win for Snapchat, and it gave them a significant competitive advantage over other social media platforms. With the addition of group chats and Snap Stories, Snapchat became much more valuable, and it's no wonder why they paid so much money to acquire the company. Today, Snapchat is one of the most popular social media platforms in the world, with over 300 million daily active users. The app has evolved over time, adding new features and capabilities, but the core functionality of allowing users to communicate with each other through text, voice, and video remains the same. What's more, the company is now profitable and growing faster than ever before. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.